We were talking about the top 10 wide receivers according to executives, coaches, and some scouts in the National Football League. You can see it here. Jamar Chase is 1, Justin Jefferson 2. I don't think there's much of an argument there.
So you can get
okay, thank you very much. Yeah. So 1 and 2, I don't think there's much of an argument. If you want to swap them, I don't think anyone's going to. Tyreek Hill's the one at 3 that I had a hard time getting by. What's your take on Tyreek Hill?
First 2 are fine. Just to preface the first 2, I always was a Jamar Chase over Justin Jefferson guy just by a little bit. I think he's a better wide receiver. I actually think he's a better football player than Justin Jefferson. And when Joe Burrow came out and made the comments before the draft, he said Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver I played with. I didn't take that lightly like a lot of people did. Like, oh, it's semantics. He just wants to get his boy. Quarterbacks have to put the reputation and name on things, and he's played with that guy and those two together for 2-3 years. He's not going to say something just to say it. When he said Jamar Chase was the best, last year the Triple Crown, you saw what he meant.
What makes him better than Justin Jefferson?
He's a football player. Justin Jefferson runs great routes. He'll catch whatever's up there, but Jamar Chase is a football player. I can watch him through the lens of film and see he knows what's happening in the flow of the game. He knows where to be. He knows when to cut his route a little bit short. He knows when to evade. He blocks when he has to. When he gets upset, he still dials into the game. Like a lot of receivers, me included sometimes, you get upset, you get wiry, it messes with your game. When he gets upset, it actually makes him better because every time he's talked stuff after a game, what has he done next game? 234 yards 2 years ago, 199 yards last year. He doesn't play about his game. He's just like that. I trust him more than any receiver in the NFL.
If I said to you, he with Joe Burrow compared to Justin Jefferson with Sam Darnold, this year J.J. McCarthy, who we liked coming out of Michigan, but we don't know what he's like in the NFL. How much of a factor does that play into your decision?
It wouldn't.
It wouldn't? Okay.
Jamar's still going to be open. He's still going to catch the ball. He still makes plays.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. You'll see games of Justin Jefferson where, like, he gets shut down. Oh, we saw that here.
Yeah.
We saw that here. Our own Amik
Shout out to
Robinson.
Amik Robinson.
I love Amik Robinson. Like, Jamar Chase is not going to let Amik Robinson shut him down.
Gotcha.
He won't let it happen. Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, things like that, that's how I judge.
Okay.
Like, you won't see that out of Randy Moss or Randy when he played. You wouldn't see that out of Jerry Rice when he played. They're not letting certain things happen. Tyreek Hill, I've never been – when people were ranking him the last 5-6 years, he's never been number 1 to me. He's never been number 2 to me. He's never been 3.
Wow.
He was an extremely fast wide receiver that has gotten much better at the wide receiver position over the last 3-4 years, but he is a scheme wide receiver. Look what happens when they find he was with Andy Reid, and he was amazing. They were just putting him in spots. He was Patrick Mahomes. He gets to the Dolphins, and they scheme for him. Like, you're talking about one of the greatest minds ever in Andy Reid, and now Mike McDaniel, who was great for the first season when they don't have film on you. But when they do have film on you, it looks a little bit different. I don't like him at 3. I think he's lower, in my opinion.
Okay. I would agree with that, not to the extent in which you said, because you broke it down beautifully. I think he's a slot receiver. I'm a little bit more partial to big wideouts who go outside the numbers and can go across the middle. Obviously, his speed is what separates him from a lot of people. I don't think it's his route running or his hands.
He's not better than Amon-Ra St.Brown as a wide receiver. Like, if you give me the choice, I'm taking Amon-Ra St.Brown over Tyreek Hill as a wide receiver. 1,000%. It's the total of the game.
Hey,
Amon-Ra's going to know the offense better than the quarterback knows it. He's going to know where to be. He's going to block not only when he needs to all the time. He's also going to be able to get his guys going. And, oh, by the way, he don't drop passes.
Right.
And he knows how to make plays in the biggest moments. That's when you start to get the guys at any position to the next level. Who are you in the big moments? I don't care about when you scheme well in his first quarter, second quarter, or it was cover 3, they blitzed, you knew what time it was wide open. Who are you when it's the fourth quarter and it's 20 seconds left, or it's that pivotal drive? You know what? It's 4th and 8 and we need this. Amon-Ra St.Brown, I take him before 3.
Yeah, and he doesn't sulk. But would you have Amon-Ra St.Brown in the top 5? Where are you with CeeDee Lamb and A.J. Brown?
Amon-Ra St.Brown would be in my 5. I would take Tariq and move him to 6.
Gotcha.
I would move him to 6. I'm fine with – I would move A.J. to 3. What A.J. did in Tennessee, it made people pay attention to him, and it made the Philadelphia Eagles and Howie Roseman say, We got to get him. They got him. They paid him. And what did he do? Got them to the Super Bowl and had a hell of a playoff run, hell of a Super Bowl. What did he do the next year when Jalen Hurts couldn't figure it out? He still balled. And what did he do last year in the games he played in? He is a big-time player. I'm putting A.J. Brown 3, CD 4, Amon-Ra St.Brown 5.
All right, let's go over the remainder of it because we've got Amon-Ra St. Brown 6. Malik Neighbors, after 1 year as a rookie, just 21 years old, highest ranking for lowest ranking unranked. Even with bad quarterbacking, he was a factor. Over 100 rocks, over 1,000 yards. Pretty damn good.
This is where it gets interesting for me. I'm now going to take Puka Nacua. Is going to be up here for me. I don't know how the hell you didn't pay attention to what Puka
I said the same thing.
I don't know how the hell you didn't pay attention. Puka Nacua, as a rookie wide receiver, almost single-handedly beat the Detroit Lions, who got to the NFC Championship game. Yeah. He was one penalty, which should have been on the Lions, but glad I'm a Lions fan. It didn't go our way. They you know what it was. Yeah. How you don't have Puka Nacua on the list is crazy. Yeah. I would have him 7, Malik 8, and that can be flip-flop because Malik, I believe in what he is. I love Nico Collins, that he's getting the recognition. Yeah. And I'm so glad that he set out that last year at Michigan. Him sitting out that last year at Michigan kind of does this for him. But I like Nico Collins there. Mike Evans, he's always going to be there for you.
He's over 1,000 yards every year.
Him and Jerry Rice. Also, too, when he plays, he plays.
Yeah.
He missed the game as soon as he comes back. 2 touchdowns, 120 yards.
Yeah.
You know, here's another touchdown. Here's another 111 yards. I like him on there. He deserves it.
I would take him at age 31 over Tyreek Hill at age 31.
Last spot is a rotating spot. Garrett's deserving of the spot. 1,000 yards, even his first 3 seasons with terrible quarterbacks or a quarterback that was coming off energy, and Aaron Rodgers. Love him. There's Brian Thomas Jr. from the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think he's going to be a stud. Another LSU guy. You know how they are. Yeah. But that spot is saved for me until he hangs them up. It's saved for Devontae Adams.
And I got a question for you guys as well, man. I'm sitting here trying to figure out.
He still has the most touchdowns in the last 3 years, last 4 years, last 5 years as a wide receiver position.
I got another name, but go ahead, Kool-Aid.
You know, I was on just as we got the 6 through 10 up there on the board with Amon-Ra St. Brown, and you touched on that before the break. Who had him outside of this top 10? That is kind of wild to me that his lowest ranking from execs, front office personnel, and coaches is unranked as it relates to the top 10. Yes. That to me was
same
was
person
one.
that had Terry McLaurin past 15, which is criminal.
Yeah, somebody's got to pee in the cup for me. I agree.
That was wild.
Terry McLaurin shouldn't be past 12.
Yeah,
That's
agreed. See, he's my other guy who's in the top 10.
I wouldn't have no problem with that.
And everybody says he's kind of underrated, and I do. I believe he is. He's had 5 straight years over 1,000 yards. He's only been in the league 6 years. Yeah. Okay? And it's not like he's had this
Heineke.
I was just going to say, he hasn't had these great quarterbacks. It helps to have, Jaden Daniels a year ago. It was almost a career year for him. He's a hell of a player. I don't think he gets nearly enough recognition on what he should.
He's a bigger, slightly faster Amon-Ra St. Brown. The only thing is Amon-Ra is dialed into the game more than him for 100% of the game. That would be the only difference. I think Terry McLaurin is a great talent, but I think he'll give you 88% of the game. Amon-Ra will give you 100. He'll give you 100. I can't overlook that anymore. I did his first year. I did his second year. I tried his third, but I am an advocate of what number 14 does on the football field.
Yeah, I love that you bring that up because you're talking about effort there, and we're not always watching that stuff. I tell this to people all the time. When you're watching football, you're watching any sport, and you want to judge a player or you want to judge a coach, you can't do it if you're just doing it when the director is taking cutaways. Okay, I used to have this debate, for example, with Tommy Amaker when he was the head coach at Michigan basketball. Everybody would say, he doesn't show any emotion. I said, how do you know? Well, on TV, they never show him when has an emotion. Well, they're showing him every once in a while. Yeah. I've been at practice. Trust me. He's showing emotion. I'm not saying that's the reason you should have kept him or gotten rid of him. I'm just telling you, you can't always go by what you see on television because a lot of times it's just cutaways. You're watching these guys from a high 22 or high end zone and all 22, and you're able to see the efforts that they're putting in. I love that you're recognizing Amon-Ra St. Brown isn't just a talent in his route running and his ability to hold on to the football, but every single down he's giving you every single thing he has.
It's big moments. And let me just start talking about the moments so much. I think when I talk about effort, it gets lost. And you're like, oh, he's a shorter guy, so he's going to say effort. Remember the Minnesota game, the very first time they played them, and Minnesota was up, and they were trying to figure out how they would get back in this game. What did they do? Well, they put Amon-Ra St.Brown in the slot, and he scored a touchdown pass. The first time they played Green Bay last year, they played them in Green Bay. It's a rainy game. It's an ugly game. It's the infamous touchdown celebration game. But Amon-Ra St. 2 touchdowns. His 2 touchdowns that game, it changed that game because that game was ugly. It was like Green Bay, it was like Lions had control, but it was an ugly game. He sparked the change in that game, and then he scored the game-winning touchdown or threw the game-winning touchdown. Like Houston, the Houston game, another ugly game.
Yeah.
Who throws a touchdown in that game?
Yeah.
So in the biggest moments, it's not about the effort. They're designing plays to go to Amon-Ra St. Brown or designing plays to get to Amon-Ra St. Brown to where it's ultimately going to go. I can't overlook that. And then you throw yards up there, 1,400, 1,300 last year, 14 touchdowns like the year before, 12 last year. Like, these are gaudy numbers as well. What more do you need?
How much does it hurt him from a reputation standpoint? We're way past it. But if you look at all these guys, you recognize they're pretty damn good, right? And they're high, for the most part, high draft picks. A.J. Brown was the second-round choice. How much do you think it hurts him that he was a fourth-round pick and people are still trying to figure out how that happened and admit they were wrong?
It's 2 things. It's that and it's the height.
The height?
It's the height.
Okay.
At that position, it's 1, he was a lower round pick. He was a 4th-round pick. And then 2, it's the height. If you're going to be shorter at the wide receiver position, you got to do what? You got to be number 3 on this list. Number 3 runs a 4.3. So you're able to overlook him being 5'5" or what the hell he is. Yeah. Like Amon-Ra St. Brown is a shorter receiver. He's not necessarily a fast receiver. He's not jumping over people. He's not running by people. So you mix that in, and it's like, I guess we had, like, the numbers made you put him on the list. The fact that the Lions have done what they've done over the last 3 years, including that 9 and 8 year, it puts him on the list. So they don't want to, but he's forced himself on the list.
That's a great point. He's the one who forced their decision to a certain extent. I used to have a lot of long conversations with Ken Holland when he was the general manager for the Red Wings.
Shout out to Jeff
here in
Rand.
Detroit. Yeah, really good dude. And I remember asking him about a college goalie one time, or a college player. Andy Mealy was the Hobie Baker winner at the University of Miami, Ohio. Okay. And he's from Grosse Pointe.
Shout out to the Red Hawks.
But he's 5'7", okay? He was not drafted. He had a teammate by the name of Justin Vive, who was 6'5", the son of Rick Vive, who played for Toronto. And he, I think, was like a 2nd or a 3rd-round pick. And I said, how does that happen? And Ken Holland's comment to me was a good one. He said, because when you're little, you have to prove you can. When you're big, you have to prove you can't. And I thought that was really interesting in the minds of scouts and coaches and things of that nature. When you're little, you have to prove you can, thus the chip on the shoulder of many little guys. Yeah. And when you're big, you have to prove you can't. In other words, I'll take the big guy until he shows me that he can't do it. It's a really interesting way to look at it. And perhaps that was the case with Amon-Ra St. Brown, fair or unfair.
Is that how Will Levis got drafted?
what were people enamored with that?
Oh, his height, his size,
his arm. Yeah, his arm. He could throw it through a brick wall. So could Jeff George. So could Jamarcus Russell.
Oh, I remember that draft.
So a lot of those guys can. You get caught up in one thing. I'm not saying I'm a scout here, but you get caught up in one thing, and oftentimes you forgot some of the other basic things.
The biggest thing they should pay attention to is film. I feel like in this new era where everybody wants they want the tests, they want the results, they want the times, they want the stats, they want that. They forget to watch the film. You watch the film, a lot of times you can start to not pay attention to some of the stuff because it doesn't matter in a good and bad way. Sometimes a player is much better than the numbers, and sometimes a player is nowhere near as good as he tests.
And it sounds simple, but when you hear Brad Holmes speak about his process with the draft and identifying talent, that's what he says. He says a lot of people get enamored with the combine numbers. They get enamored with the measurables. But he says, I just put on the tape. Yeah. Even if the measurables or the speed or the this or that say that this guy might not have elite NFL or NFL speed or NFL twitch or NFL this, he's like, I see who this guy is when he puts on the pads. And I remember he used that when he was talking about Brian Branch. And so to see that, to hear that from you, Brian,
Did you?
I've got some ball knowers on the show.